You're out picking stones with your pals the other day.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we're once again hanging out at the produce stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show, Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one has those really nice grill marks, bud. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya, and online we have Squirrely Matt and the valiant Victor. How you guys doing today?
Good, and how are you?
Pretty good. Matt, what are you drinking today?
That was the softest hello we've heard yet.
I know, right? All right, that sounds great. What did you just open there, Matt?
Today's there's no fancy name. It's some new one I've got called Caribou, and it's just an IPA. So I'm excited to give it a whirl.
Caribou. All right, and I'm just going to open my usual Stella Artois here. All right. So it's been a long, busy week. Let's get started with how's your week, Matt? We're going to start with you. How's your week, Matt?
Oh man, it's never a dull one. But what I wanted to talk about, I was kind of channeling my inner dairy this week, trying to enjoy some yogurt.
Trying.
So, well, let me explain.
What do you have against yogurt?
No, it's not. I fucking love yogurt.
Okay.
Man. That's the point. And I always it's not the right word. I ask very nicely for some high quality yogurt in our refrigerator, but I never get it. So the other day, I come home, I mean, not like I'm going anywhere, but I open the fridge and there is this velvety Greek vanilla yogurt of my dreams. And I grab it and like a dog reaching for the steak off the counter, I get whacked away. Might as well have been newspaper saying, no, that's for the kid. And I wasn't able to have it.
Denied. Was it the Oikos?
No. Wait, I don't remember what brand it was, but either way, it's fucking delicious. Yeah. And so I've been sneaking spoons of it throughout the week because I really want it.
You're going to be found out, man.
Yeah, we're
risky.
We're an Oikos household here. That's all we buy. And
moms have eyes in their back of their head. She'll go and catch you.
Yeah. Oh no, probably. You mean today when she went out for a bit, I had like a whole bowl of it. I'm like, fuck her. I'm eating it. I want it. I love her, but I really needed to eat it.
Yeah, I've been spoiled now. I can't have any other yogurt that isn't Oikos. It's so good.
Right? Like you get to experience a high quality yogurt and then you go to that other shit and you're like, what is the point?
Yeah. I think I accidentally opened an Astro once and I'm like, what is this? This isn't yogurt. This is like
fucking garbage.
Yeah.
The protein is good in the Oikos.
Yeah, well, it's Greek yogurt and it's tasty. So Tanya, this is the lineup for today. Matt, Tanya, Victor, Al. So Tanya, how was your week?
Oh, busy as hell. I do not think that we could have fit one more thing into this week. We still got tomorrow to go, but yeah, we've totally done the demolition of the upstairs. Oh, it's been a lot.
We're both very sore and very tired. We took the week off to demo the main floor of the upstairs. We're now fully living downstairs. It's very cozy, very compact. If we sound a little quieter today, it's probably because the kids are sleeping in the other room.
There's guys, for our listeners, don't feel sorry for them. I've seen the evidence. This was borderline child labor. I saw the demo video.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, I have never seen our kids so excited to tear out a wall. I'm like, you know what? You just take all your frustrations from this year and here's a hammer and you just go. It was lovely. It was really, it was wonderful.
Victor, your background tonight is Mr. Eddie Van Halen there.
Yes.
Rest in peace. My condolences.
It's a sad thing. I mean, he wasn't just a great musician. He was a good man. And just a great inspiration to so many people, and certainly one of my childhood heroes.
I bet.
And just the nicest guy. Like, obviously, I never knew him personally, but any interview that he's ever done, anytime you ever saw him in a public space, he had this just giant smile ear to ear. And, he went through a lot of struggles with substance abuse and all that kind of stuff. But then he fought cancer early on in the 2000s. I think it was tongue cancer. I can't remember exactly. And he seemed to have kind of fought that. And I didn't know how sick he was with the throat cancer. And just one day, you get the news and it's crazy. It's a little piece of your childhood just kind of dies. So that was, and then, all this kind of, all these folks sharing stories and memories online, all that kind of stuff. And for that to get overshadowed by a fly yesterday, that was pretty ridiculous.
A fly? What have I missed in the world?
Everything.
You missed the vice president debate yesterday. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. All except there was a fly stole the show.
Yeah.
A fly landed on.
The fly stole the social media show. I mean, it's probably the most famous, inanimate object in the world.
I love it.
Minutes up there with the Toronto raccoon of 2017.
Minutes after that, after that debate ended, I don't even know if it ended. Somebody created a Twitter account from the on behalf of the fly and tweeted. It was awesome. Twitter.
It was one of many. There was actually many accounts created. There was lots of clever folks out there, and there was one of them that really took off, where it got like hundreds of thousands of followers like immediately. I don't know where it's at now. Yeah. Obviously, that's short lived. It's gonna die. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty funny. For sure. Added some much needed levity to what was kind of a needless, useless evening.
Yeah. So speaking of Twitter, we had another busy week with new followers, another 29 new followers this week, which I believe is around the same number we had last week. And this week we didn't even have, me putting out the tweet begging people to follow. So let me, half of these I think were actually people who started following us while we recorded last week. So we'll call these out. Welcome to Beach, to Scott Shields from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. I think that might be our first follower from Saskatchewan. That's awesome. Kyle Oakland, at Howling Void, Craig from Buffalo, New York. I'm going to say this is I Clever Lines from Baldwin Park, California. Caleb Wear a Mask Ahern from Phoenix, Arizona. The Dijonais from Phoenix, Arizona. We've got a lot of people from Arizona listening. Lenny Leonard from Safety Harbor, Florida. Carson Sieber, Oliver Drake fan account from Jefferson, Wisconsin. Let's see here. Taddy from Carbondale, Illinois. Drew Skez 17 from South Beloit, Illinois. Meandering Hermit, Mac Adio, just east of Sanity. Je suis Fatigue from Pennsylvania. Nick O'Donoghue from Illinois. Bobby Gutierrez two from the U.S. Air Force. Thanks for listening there, Bobby. Satan Sassy Sultry Mistress. From my own personal hell, USA. Libby.
That's good.
Libby McDougall from Buffalo. Rosie from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Bale Glass from Massachusetts. A lot of people from Massachusetts. I think they just like hearing me butcher their name. Amy Kaiser from Lincolnton, North Carolina. Sarah But Spooky from Orlando, Florida. Aaron Gilbraith, I'm going to say it's Gilbraith from Abilene, Texas. He gave us our first iTunes review, which I'll read later. Thank you so much, Aaron, for that. Sean Cronin from St. Louis, Missouri. Tracy Manier from Springfield, Missouri. Anon Amon from Unknown. Smitty from Jackson, Missouri. Shane K from Omaha, Nebraska, somewhere in Middle America. And Kells from Unknown.
I'm so glad you do the names.
Oh man. Thank you all for the follows and for listening. It's much appreciated. And we're getting up there.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet you saying about 50% of them correctly.
Yeah,
that would have been my own personal hell right there.
Oh,
if I had to read that.
So here we go.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we reviewed Season 2, Episode 3, Relationships. That episode got a fresh rating across the board, including our scientific Twitter poll, which had 100% of you agreeing with us that the episode was a fresh. Tonight, we recap and review Episode 4 from Season 2, The Native Flu. Let's start here with homework. Matt, did you do your homework?
I did, sir.
And I apologize in advance. We were so busy with all the work upstairs that I was late sending out my reminder. In fact, Matt had to remind me to send out the reminder to do the homework.
We wouldn't have done it if I didn't remind you to remind us.
Exactly. Tanya, did you do your homework?
I did. You sat me down.
Yeah. It's like I hold tie her down and force her to watch like toothpicks in her eyelids and stuff.
No,
I've
it's
said it
tape.
before. I'll say it again, Tanya. Blink twice.
Victor, did you do your homework?
Homework was done, yes.
Awesome.
A little later than usual, but yes.
Oh, yeah, just under the wire. What, today?
No, and I knew I wouldn't have had time today, so only the only reason is because NHL 21 came out today, and there was no way I was going to not play that after work.
NHL 21?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember playing, which one did I play? 99 maybe? Or 2000?
I remember playing ice hockey.
Well, yeah, Blades of Steel and all that stuff. But no, I think
hockey.
The last NHL one I played might have been 2000. What's the difference? Every year do they come out with a new one?
Yeah. I mean, so basically, I've been playing this game with my friends since NHL 93, the very first one that came up on Sega Genesis, and we've been playing that every year up until 99, and then everybody parted ways, got jobs, got married and stuff like that. And then there was an era of kind of, they were making just for the computer, and various consoles that were coming in and out. And so I didn't get back into it, and I've been playing it on the computer, but it's just you're not playing with your buds or whatever. So it's kind of boring. And then I got back into it in 2010. On the Xbox 360. And that was a game changer because you're going online and you're playing with people, actual real people. So when you're doing a 6-on-6 game, every single person on the ice is controlled by another person.
That is better, yeah.
And yes, and then you've got your headsets on and you're talking, you're razzing, and all the stuff that you hear in Letterkenny is going on online. And yeah, so it was a whole lot of fun, and we never really stopped. And every year you buy the new game just because they add new features, they improve it. Sometimes it's just a big fat roster update, which you kind of cringe and feel like, am I really going to pay money for it? But you kind of have to because you're playing online with friends and stuff like that. So yeah, there's not dramatic changes year to year. For offline modes, I guess there are, but mainly we just kind of play online. So
this year, do they have the no crowd arenas and stuff like that, like the COVID?
What you know what's funny? No, but 2 years ago they introduced kind of this new feature for online players. You can kind of dress up in your own gear and kind of. So it's not, and they introduced face masks 2 years ago. So, if you can imagine, basically these face masks, except they're not surgical, but it's the same idea,
right? And
they come with all your different designs, and now you can kind of get whatever design you want. That's been in NHL 20. And NHL 19, NHL 20, and now NHL 21 before COVID ever became famous and popular. So yeah, so they're kind of ahead of the game that way. They have a slogan: if it's in the game, it's in the game. So that part's true.
So anybody who's a conspiracy theorist might say that the NHL started this whole pandemic just so that
EA Electronic Arts is behind COVID-19. Yeah. So anyway, so all that. So we took a bit of a trip there. So that might
be my favorite conspiracy theory yet.
EA Sports, damn you!
I mean, if you so here's the thing. I'm gonna railroad a bit there. We've been looking to buy my kids Nintendo Switch for Christmas this year. They've been asking for like 2 years. That is the hardest fucking thing on the planet to find right now.
Really?
Toilet paper.
Yeah. Really?
As soon as everyone went inside, everyone's been buying gaming systems across the planet because no one can go out. So you might be onto something there, Victor.
Yeah. But yeah, careful buying new systems now because they are coming out with the next gens. You know, it's funny because they used to call the current Xbox and PlayStation, but those are now gone. They're this day last year for them. They're coming out with the PlayStation 5 and I don't know, what are they calling the Xbox X or something?
Why?
That's gonna, both are going to be out before Christmas. So
fuck that shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
seriously, I'm still playing PS3, and the game I'm playing on PS3 is Sega Genesis Classics.
I've got that same one.
Nothing wrong with that.
Matt, I've got that one, but I've got it for my PS2. So there you go.
Right?
I got you beat.
There you go. Love it.
I play 3 games: NHL 21, Bus Simulator, and Train Sim World.
Of course. All right, let's get back on.
$1,000 on it.
Yeah, speaking of trains, let's get back on track here. We start with the cold open. The Hicks are out in the field picking stones. Now, I had to dip a toe into Reddit to learn why they're picking stones. Apparently, it's so that the farm equipment doesn't get damaged by the stones.
You
so
had to look that up.
I didn't know. I mean,
Like that's
why do you pick up stones in the field? That didn't make much sense to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Al. That was 100% going to be my first question.
I
Why
had
the
no
fuck are they
idea.
picking up stones?
Yeah.
Thank you
my
for looking it
goodness.
up because I didn't and I had no idea.
It makes sense,
Farm
right?
equipment.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, now I get it. It's obvious now that I've looked it up. But yeah, before I was like, why are they picking stones? I don't get it. Just leave them where they are.
There is
field. Where are new rocks coming from every year?
Yeah,
One last thing
exactly.
on
Do they
games.
grow?
They're coming up when the soil gets turned. Hello, people.
Wow. I'm the one who I grew up in the
one last
marsh
thing
and I
on
didn't
games.
know this shit. So there you go.
One last thing on games, and I have a feeling Tanya does this in her spare time. There is a game called Farm Simulator that I was always
I would
intrigued
totally
about
do
getting.
that. I would totally do that.
All right. So here we go. I learned something new from Letterkenny. Oh, and Tanya's got her feet up on the table.
Sorry, my legs hurt.
Okay. We need to be professional, will you? Holy. Wayne proclaims that he's had an incident and he'd like to talk about it, but he's having a hard time spitting it out. But then finally he gets to it.
I seen Stuart's horn.
What?
You seen his impaler?
His Bobby Dangler.
Well, you seen his PhD.
His WMD.
Oh, look, fellas. You seen his friendly weapon?
His sticky grenade.
His ground squirrel?
Yeah, I seen his ground squirrel. You seen Stuart's middle stump?
You've seen his custard slinger.
Well, I'm coming up the stairs. He's coming out of the bathroom, as naked as a jaybird for some fucking reason. I round the corner, and yeah, I seen his...
His hollow point.
His hard drive.
Well, his floppy disk is what I seen, yeah.
All right.
Custard slinger. That's all I have to say.
Where did he see it though?
When Stuart was living with them.
But they broke up already. That's so last week.
He's
Okay, so he's just
flashing
recounting.
back.
Yeah, he's flashing back. So I got I got them all. I got all those references except for one. Like I know what a PhD is in terms of a diploma, but what does PhD stands for other than diploma? Anyone?
PH.
I was about to Google search it on my work computer and I stopped.
One moment, please.
And we'll let Tanya look that up. Maybe you may have to check Urban Dictionary because that was the only one I was like, PhD. I mean, P could be for penis and D could be for, but anyway, whatever. So Derry asks for an evaluation and Squirrely Dan would like to hear an assessment as well.
You want to what? Look like a tall boy can of Red Bull hanging there.
No.
Look like a tube of tennis balls hanging there, a 4-pack.
Shut up.
Look like a fucking policeman's flashlight from the 1980s hanging there.
You're joking.
That is no joke.
The male Hicks are all complimentary, saying, "Good job, Stuart. Good for him." Wayne even admits to being happy for him and that it's a terrific opportunity, which got a chuckle from Tanya. I thought that was
Would I chuckle at?
Tanya,
it's a terrific opportunity when the Hicks are saying,
Oh, right. Yes.
So we saw, you could see Katie was really like disappointed that she didn't explore this, and
She was intrigued.
but Tanya,
Yes.
does size matter?
Size is talked about. Yes. Size is definitely
Al.
talked about.
Thanks. Thanks for making it uncomfortable.
Well, you're still married, so it's.
I think the word is awkward.
Awkward. Yes.
Awkward.
Katie does seem a bit upset.
Pump the brakes. Stuart isn't a really big dude. Are you sure the size of his horn wasn't accentuated by his really tiny frame?
Looked like a 1-liter thermos hanging there.
Because Because, a really big dude could have a massive horn, but it would look really small in proportion to his gigantic frame, right?
Have you been reading my diary?
I'll tell you what, it looked like a deflated football in there.
Fuck.
So for me, the most shocking part about all this was thinking, wait, she and Stuart, I don't know if they were together, but for sure they went out at least on one date, and that date did not end in a free-for-all where Katie would have been, exposed to this PhD. I'm just shocked that didn't happen based on her kind of free will.
Well, and I mean, so you must have missed that line in last week's episode where she says, you were a rebound, even though it never got physical. So she and she said, it's weird for me that it never got physical, but it never got physical. So
I would say that.
Yeah, I guess I remember it now. I didn't connect the dots there, because, the way the episode opens, it kind of shocks you anyway. So you kind of lose all.
Yeah.
And now she's reflecting like it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, she's
going to go back for that.
She's angry now.
Okay. Wait. There's 18 different references, but I'm going to say and go for this one. Plumbing hardware dispatcher.
Really?
I like it.
That's the one you went with?
I like it.
That's a bit of a ride.
Yeah, it's a little stretch.
Well, I guess that's the point then.
Potentially heavy drinker. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking pure hard dance. No, piled higher and deeper. I don't know.
Anyway, keep looking.
Ooh. Prehistoric dinosaur.
Pretty huge dick.
There it is.
Oh,
there you go.
That's 2 seconds in Dr. Google. To figure that out. You're fired.
Oh.
You know what? I like Tanya's better.
Tanya was looking on dictionary.com. Matt went straight for Urban Dictionary.
I literally Googled PhD dick reference and I got the very first hit was Urban
see,
Dictionary.
I didn't do dick reference. I did slang.
What was your dispatcher again? Say that again.
Oh, the dispatch. Oh,
Plumbing something dispatch.
I like the dispatcher.
You're fired.
Oh, come on.
All right.
Plumbing hardware. I think it was plumbing hardware dispatcher.
Yeah,
I'll put up a
plumbing
poll and see which
hardware
one people like better.
dispatcher. I like.
You know what? That's going to be this
Plumbing
week's poll. That's awesome.
dispatcher.
All right.
I like that
so
one.
just to wrap up, we're still on the cold opening here, people. So
We got sidetracked with some dick stuff.
this, as usual, this leads to Wayne's word of wisdom for this episode.
There's such a thing as too much horn talk, and a fellow ought to be fucking aware of it.
Let me tell you, too much
So
horn.
appropriate.
Exactly, so appropriate. All right, and then cue the theme.
Wait a second. Wait. One more pause. Wasn't an earlier episode him saying you never looked out? What? No.
Oh yeah.
At the urinal.
At the urinal.
Oh.
They don't say it; they imply it. But I mean, that's kind of.
And then he brought it up in conversation while picking up stones.
These are not related items.
No, they're not.
You know what?
The
And I was
urinal etiquette is
referencing.
very different than just house etiquette.
Yeah, and it obviously was bothering Wayne enough that he had to talk about it.
He was accosted. He didn't have an opportunity to not look.
And I remember now what I was thinking. It was the shower scene with the hockey players.
That's the hockey players. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Wrong.
They were cock looking, right? Okay. Coming out of the theme music, scene 1, Jonesy and Riley are in the dressing room at the rink commenting on how none of their teammates even dip, bro, as in chew tobacco. One of their teammates reminds them of the big road game this weekend on the res against the senior A natives team. If they thought the juniors were tough, the senior natives will fucking kill you. That gets Jonesy and Riley's attention.
You got the native flu, you little bitch? Yorkie.
It's a native flu if I've ever seen it, Parts. Schultzy.
You scared of the natives, pussy? Fisky.
Fever, body aches, nausea. All symptoms Freddy Cat's fake to get out of playing the natives. Boomtown.
I hate Freddy Cats like I love my wife. Intensely. I love her so much.
I love Boomtown. Jonesy and Riley insist that they don't have the native flu. They try to leave, but end up walking right into the crotch of one of the seniors as he's doing pull-ups. The senior holds their heads between his legs as the others laugh.
Now, do you think there was underwear on that guy?
Well, I'm hopefully. I hope so. If I'm those actors, I'm insisting that there's something there.
I mean, this is a lower budget show, so who knows?
Just because it's Canadian doesn't mean it's lower budget. Come on.
Maybe they were bicycle shorts.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Scene 2. Back at the farm, the Hicks are hanging out at the produce stand as Jonesy and Riley pull up at the end of the laneway. They want to talk to the Hicks, but not in front of Katie. She tells them to piss off, so they get to the business at hand.
We got a roadie to the res this weekend, boys.
Big roadie play the natives this weekend, boys.
You got the native flu?
We do not have the native flu.
We do not have the native flu.
Don't be scared to admit it. Those natives are tough as hell.
No, those natives are tougher than hell.
Okay, we can handle the natives in the rink, boys.
We know we got business in their barn, boys.
But Tanis and her troops are going to be waiting for us in the parking lot. So we
need backup, boys.
Hard no.
Oh, come on. Where's your jam, bud?
Not my pig, not my farm.
Where's the sacrifice?
Oh, get off the cross. We need the wood.
We tuned them up on our turf just a fortnight ago.
Yeah, we step back on theirs now. That's a suicide mission.
Get off the cross. We need the wood. I love that line. That's great. Wayne doesn't like what Derry said about the suicide mission, though. It seems he doesn't like admitting that someone else might be tougher than him. Riley says he hears Tanis wants the ban lifted on Letterkenny for selling cigarettes. Wayne says they shouldn't have burned down the fucking produce stand. Katie reminds the Hicks of their rule. When a man asks for help, you help him.
Well, I guess I haven't been a scrap in a while.
We could go get bags of darts, too.
And their venison pepperettes are not to be missed.
I pretty near popped a street meat vendor outside of Jay's game one time for selling me a venison dog. Ain't no go the goddamn way. That's venison dog. No.
Well, I go for a scrap.
Squirrely Dan proclaims that they'll need reinforcements. They'll call Joint Boy, of course, but there is one reinforcement they won't call this time.
What about
no?
Oh, you mean the ginger?
Hard no.
But now everybody listen up. So I'm only going to say this once. We never talk about it again. You understand? We all lay off the ginger and boots now because the ginger and boots did not fuck an ostrich.
No, Riley says he heard they fucked 2 ostriches, allegedly. At this point, Wayne admits to pulling a Tanya here.
Now I went on the internet and researched ostriches. Firstly, ostriches can run up to 70 miles an hour, so catching one, even a sick one, is a super tall order.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Secondly, when a male ostrich, which is called a cock, fights over a female ostrich, which is called a hen, they're known to kill each other by headbutting.
We should wear hockey helmets.
Hockey helmets, buddy.
Oh, they need a race car helmet, likely.
Finally, ostriches use their legs to defend from predators and can use them to kill even their largest and most deadly enemies, which are fucking lions.
That's the king of the jungle.
Still just a cat.
So you'll see, there is no way the ginger and boots could have fucked an ostrich.
Maybe they drank the ostrich.
Like they roofied the ostrich?
I love Squirrely Dan's little throwaway line. They're still just cats.
And might I add,
yes,
one detail that they missed on the mating process of the ostrich.
Oh, that's right, because you looked it up too. That's right.
I might have done that. They rock back and forth, and they have their arms, their wings, whatever you want to call them, extended, and they rock back and forth in this mating dance, and continue that while in the act.
There you go.
It sounds wildly Wikipedia-like, and Tanya, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of you, but I'm questioning your credibility after the plumber incident of 5 minutes ago.
By all means, give it a Google.
Yeah, just don't do it on your work laptop. All right,
No.
Wayne.
You can't explain.
Wayne
you
says,
can't come back after that.
Exactly. Matt, can you come into the office for a second here? We need to talk about your browsing habits.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I have so been there. I have been there at the office. Oh, I have to side story this one. So I'm at the office telling my friend at work about this lovely drink that I had and that you can only get it in a certain country. And then I Google searched it. And so the alcohol beverage is called Figling. And I thought I had the spelling correctly of Fingling, and it wasn't. And I pressed images, and on my very large monitor, there was a whole lot of, and apparently that's a way to get through the wall at work. And oh my God. Yeah. My face has never gone so red.
So Victor, you're a manager. Have you ever had to have a meeting with somebody because of their browsing habits?
Yeah.
Really?
But well, as a manager, no. But as a coworker, yes.
Oh.
So this is a day. This is going back to my days at Rogers. I'm going to leave out names.
Oh, you just said the name of the company.
No, but that's okay. I'm going to leave out names of employees. And yeah, this is not the fault of Rogers. So they're not being spoken of in any kind of a derogatory way here. Mm-hmm. And I'll share with you that we were in a building on Bloor. Mount Pleasant and Bloor, it's 333 Bloor, and we had windows. We had window seats facing onto Bloor, if you can imagine being there. Big windows, so people could look in and they could see our monitors. Actually, believe it or not.
Oh, you told me this story before. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so my coworker who sat next to me, our monitors kind of faced each other. But the backs of them faced each other, so I couldn't really see what's on his screen, nor he couldn't see what's on mine. And one of our coworkers was a nice young lady, and she came over to ask my coworker a question. And he said, "Let me look that up for you." And he did. And something bad happened. Something terrible happened. And you could tell by the look on her face, she had never seen anything like this before. And if she had, she certainly played a good game because she went white. She didn't go red. She went white. And
is this before or after 2 girls in 1 cup?
So I'll leave it there, and then afterwards I had to talk to my friend and just remind him of the hazards of and pitfalls of having something like that be found out by our manager and beyond, and maybe by the people outside of the window looking in.
Yeah, holy.
So yeah. I'm not going to get detailed in terms of what was on the screen. I don't want to offend anybody, but it was pretty out there.
Right.
Don't chase Al's reference. You can never unsee that.
You're right. Yeah, sorry. I shouldn't even have brought up.
Oh, gosh.
It's probably something that's been buried in the internet archives for a while now.
And might I add that I went immediately to IT and told them that there was a mistake and that was not what I was looking up. And if I got a red flag of any kind, I'm owning up to it right now that this is what has happened.
Wow, so
everything was fine.
Yourself.
Oh yeah, no, that was not what I was looking for.
Well, you got to know kind of where you work, because I mean, most companies most of the time aren't actually looking at that stuff.
Yeah,
there are some that do, but most don't.
Anyway, back to the recap. Wayne says they should feel bad about spreading the rumor about Ginger and Boots. His word of wisdom, bad gas travels real fast in a small town. Wayne concludes that the only way Ginger and Boots could fuck an ostrich is if it were a dead ostrich. He says this just in time for Pastor Glenn to ride by on his bicycle and overhear the new juicy piece of gossip. Then he promptly calls Jenny and tells her, and so the rumor is now spreading like a gender reveal wildfire. This gets an oh bother from Wayne. Scene 3.
That was good.
Thanks. I was pretty proud of that one. Scene 3. The Skids are at the dollar store doing their dancing thing. Katie walks up. Stuart tries not to show her weakness. Devin intercepts Katie.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
you.
This is awkward, but your shirt seems to have shrunk in the wash.
Not awkward. Things shrink in the wash. How do you explain your dick?
Quick wit, valuable asset. Must really serve a lady of the night like you well.
He means you're a hooker.
Thanks, Rold. You speak?
Heard a song this morning that reminded me of you.
Really? So cool. What was it?
Die, my darling.
Metallica, love them. Actually, they have a song that reminds me of you, too.
Oh?
Yeah. Sad, but true.
Why don't you run along and get your essentials? You know, long, smooth, cylindrical shaped objects.
Actually, I'm just looking for some 3-inch screws to hang a frame. Hey, you know what 3 inches looks like, right?
And Katie wins another round. Next scene, scene 4. On the res, Jonesy and Riley arrive at the rink. Tanis and her crew are waiting for them. Jonesy and Riley tell Tanis they don't want any trouble. They just want to go in and play. But Tanis calls them stupid if they think they're going to make it into the rink. She sicks her crew on them. But just then, Wayne pulls up in his truck just in time. Tanis presses pause, but she does issue a warning.
Listen, we're 4 lines deep of BFIs and they're ready to speed bag you spacemen.
What's a BFI?
Big fucking Indians.
Not sure that's PC, but you said it.
If you chodes walk out of there with all your chiclets and I'm a fucking ferret. Piss off.
I love it. I'm not sure that's PC.
I think that's going to be my new favorite line.
What's that? Not sure that's...
Not sure it's PC.
Yeah. Riley and Jonesy enter the rink and Tanis turns her attention to Wayne. Asks if he's ready for a chin check. Wayne responds with a, yup. Then Tanis asks if he can, or Tanis says he can avoid it if he wants to which Wayne responds, nope. Exasperated, Tanis composes herself and walks up to Wayne's pickup for a negotiation.
I want the ban on Letterkenny lifted. There's some good money that can be made selling smokes there. You've made your point. We fucked off.
Point's not made yet.
It's not calculus.
Finite math is worse.
Trigonometry fucked me.
I forgot long division in grade 6.
Okay. Lift the ban on Letterkenny. We'll make a buck and use can cruise the res.
Bag the darts?
Yeah, go to the casino.
Venison pepperettes?
Yes, go watch a fucking hockey game.
Nope.
I love how Wayne is suddenly like the boss of everything, like Letterkenny. He's the gatekeeper, right? Tanis takes a Wayne's cigarette out of his hand, takes a pull, and walks away, warning the FBI is coming, which stands for fucking big engines. As she walks away, Wayne says,
now, one of yous farted right before she got here, and she definitely thought it was me.
Dan? I'd admit to
JB. Would have went out my window.
Maybe she farted.
It was me.
oh, Derry.
Best.
Wish you
I
weren't
feel
so...
like we've all been there. I mean, I know I've been there.
The Hicks go on a jag about algebra and other maths. Then Derry takes an eyelash from Wayne and tells him to make a wish, in which Wayne responds,
wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
Next scene, inside the rink, the game is happening. Jonesy and Riley are psyching themselves up for their first shift on the ice. Knowing the beating they're about to take, they decide maybe they'll take a couple of shifts, actually play hockey before fighting. But the second they step on the ice, they get sandwiched between 2 FBI players who proceed to jump on them and beat them up. Scene 6, meanwhile, outside the rink, the standoff between the Hicks and natives has turned into a tailgate. The Hicks have coolers and a hibachi out. The natives send in their first opponent. Wayne takes him on and makes quick work of him. Scene 7, back in the rink. There's not a lot of dialogue here, so it's going to be pretty quick here. Scene 7, back in the rink. Jonesy and Riley are sitting on the bench, bruised and bloody from their on-ice tilly. Their next shift starts and again. The second they step on the ice, they're jumped by 2 opposing players and beaten up. Scene 8, back outside, steaks are being brought out for the barbecue. 100% pure organic, grass-fed, AAA, pure Alberta beef. The Hicks get into an argument about the right way to cook steak. Derry doesn't think any seasoning should be used. Squirrely Dan thinks Montreal steak spice really should be part of the conversation. And of course, Wayne has some strong views on this.
1-inch thick top sirloin steak, salt and pepper heavily, grill at 400, 4 minutes total. Flip each minute to get the good grill marks. Let sit for 2 minutes, down the hatch.
Flip twice.
Grill marks, bud.
Sacrilege.
I will strike you.
Blasphemy.
Do you want to get striked?
Finish the whole thing off with a real nice herbs and garlics, buddy.
Don't fuck up my steak dinner, Gary.
So this is a very legitimate argument.
Okay, here we go.
It really is. I mean, for one, this household, the Montreal steak spice is basically salt and pepper to us. That shit goes in everything. So we're with Squirrely Dan on that one. But I promise you, every single time we cook steak in this house, we have this conversation around timing. And it's and wife and I will both sit there and analyze the steaks. How thick is it? What's it look like? How long should it go on? What's the temperature? Okay, this one's a 2 and 2. No, this is a minute and a half, because we're trying to hit that medium rare stage, but it's all about the thickness. So this is a very, very legitimate conversation.
I'm a big fan of Montreal steak spice for sure. Salt and pepper seems like not enough.
Not enough.
No,
that shit's like crack.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, and so Squirrely Dan says that any decent chef will tell you steak shouldn't even touch a grill. Make it drier than a fart. You pan-sear it both sides and finish off in the ovens. Wayne thinks that sounds like overhandling. Derry agrees. Squirrely Dan's response:
Oh yeah, me and Gordon Ramsay are both morons.
Now, we did try this actually last week.
Yeah, so let me tell you.
How'd it go?
We have the HelloFresh.
Yep.
Has been coming to us during the second half of this COVID fun. And there was a pan sear and you threw it in the oven, and I'm telling you, that actually worked out really well.
Yeah. Steak in a frying pan it felt like sacrilege, but for sure it turned out really good. Yeah. So we've been doing the HelloFresh since the pandemic started, because just to get some variety in what we're eating, and since we're home and stuff, we have time to cook, and it's been great. The food's been really good. We've been having some interesting meals, and so steak done in a frying pan and then finished off in the oven.
It seems strange, but it worked.
No, we tried to. It's a challenge for sure, but if you get it right, we did a whole big roast one time like that, and followed some instructions online, Gordon Ramsay styles, and it actually worked out quite well. So there's a bit of an art there, but I'm not against that.
The Hicks finally agree to meet halfway on the steak. No SMP, flip twice, medium rare, but then they're interrupted by the next challenger from the native side. Joint Boy steps up for this one. He tells Derry to throw the stakes on. It won't take long. Joint Boy takes his opponent down with a nut shot and finishes him off with a quick shot to the temple. C9 back in the.
Seems like cheating. Can we just say?
Yeah.
That's not a move
for sure. Back in the rink, Riley and Jonesy aren't looking too good, but at least they've left the game on account of the 2-fight rule. 2 fights, that's your night. They're staggering back to the dressing room, but not before getting jumped yet again by 2 opposing players. Poor Jonesy and Riley. At least they can take a beating.
I wish you had a clip of what they were mumbling about on their way to the dressing room.
We would have had him. We would have had him if they hadn't jumped us. That's what they kept on saying. And the other thing they were saying, did you get any good shots in?
Yeah, I punched the back of his arm or something like that.
Yeah. Scene 10, Riley and Jonesy walk out of the rink. Here's I've got the quote here. They would have dusted them if they hadn't jumped them. They barely acknowledge the tailgate. They just walk off. And then because they've had enough of a beating, Tanis calls out to Wayne and asks him to meet her halfway.
I'll level with you. We have a BFI on standby that will fuck you up.
Okay.
He'll lynch you.
Good.
He'll end you.
That's redundant.
We can end this if you lift the ban.
You burned down our produce stand, Tanis.
Listen, I don't want to call him.
You can call him.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
No, give him a call.
I'd rather work this out with you.
Too much talk.
Wait. We're having a really hard time on the res, okay? And selling cigarettes in Letterkenny really helps us out, and all of the money goes back into the community.
This dude doesn't exist, does he?
I want you to meet someone. Dustin!
So Wayne doesn't give a shit about the sob story that Tanis is giving him. He just wonders whether this dude actually exists. But a young kid emerges from the native's car and walks up to Wayne and Tanis.
We don't have a lot of money, and I'd sure like to play baseball. Please lift the ban, Wayne.
You can get a glove for free at the Sally Ann. Just have Mom or Dad drive you down there. But, don't care much for kids, so
Wayne doesn't even make eye contact with the kid. Tanis switches to plan B and calls out for someone else. It's her father.
Cupboards are bare in the Elder's Lodge. And we're so tired and sore. Please lift the van, Wayne.
Got plenty of fresh produce on the farm. Yous are welcome to it.
It's nice of him to offer them free produce. Tanis has one final card to play.
Oh, fuck. A three-legged dog.
As Wayne pets the three-legged dog, Tanis pulls out a second three-legged dog. This has the desired effect.
Yous can come back once per week, Saturday morning. Set up shop in the farmer's market parking lot. We'll spread the word.
Tanis is grateful, but Wayne pays her no mind. All he cares about is whether the BFI that Tanis threatened actually exists. Tanis refuses to confirm or deny his existence, and this really annoys Wayne. Scene 11. Back at the dollar store, skids, dancing. Katie walks up with Gus, her dog. Devin once again intercepts to take yet another bullet for his leader.
Who's this? He looks just like you.
You actually look great today. You know, in comparison to this bag of shit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So?
So?
Still an unapologetically promiscuous tart?
Yep. Still a heartbreakingly inadequate chronic masturbator?
No!
High rolled.
Whatever.
And then Katie ignores Devin and rolled and speaks directly to Stuart.
Stuart, you and I were a bad idea.
Evident.
But I still think you're cool. Adios.
Katie walks into the dollar store, but not before tossing the bag of dog shit at Devin, who reacts quickly to catch it before he realizes what it is. Next scene, back at the produce stand, the Hicks debate the existence of Tanis's BFI. Wayne is still bothered that he doesn't know for sure. They wonder what would happen if he beat Wayne the same way Joint Boy won his fight by kicking Wayne in the nuts. Katie asks if Tanis has ever recovered from her box shot and asks Derry if he's still sweet on Tanis. Tanis has moved on to being sweet on Bonnie McMurray. Katie admits that she is too, which gets a funny reaction from Squirrely Dan. Wayne admits that it's better being the dude doing the hoofing than being the dude getting hoofed.
Well, it's too late once you've been hoofed in the nuts, isn't it? You're standing there holding your ball sack wondering why you didn't hoof first.
Or you're standing there holding your box wondering why you never hooved first.
So what you're saying is, if that dude's existed...
We've already established the dude doesn't fucking exist, have we not?
You'd kick him right in the pills?
I'm fucking irritated.
Would you kick him right in the pill box?
I'm gonna go see what's on television.
We're just speaking hypothetically here, bud.
Right back.
There's no reason to get upset, Wayne.
Oh, man. Next scene, nighttime. Wayne is in bed. He can't sleep. He can't stop thinking about Tanis's BFI. He sits up, still fully clothed under the sheets, and grabs a cigarette. Scene 14, Wayne drives up to the lake. The natives are having a barbecue by the water. Wayne approaches Tanis.
How are you now?
Does the dude exist or not?
No. He's worked through our finest. No one else measures up. Yet. Stay for a barbecue?
No, thank you.
Stay.
What are you cooking?
Wagyu.
Wagyu?
Wagyu, New York.
I was told you should go for the ribeye if it's a Wagyu.
Duh.
How you cooking them?
1 inch thick Wagyu New Yorks, heavily salt and peppered, grill at 400, 4 minutes total, flip once a minute for those good grill marks. Let sit for 2 minutes and then down the hatch.
Flip once a minute, hey?
This is as good as foreplay for Wayne. Tanis grabs...
It's a pretty hot conversation.
Yeah. Tanis grabs Wayne by the jeans waist and one last time seductively says, "Grill marks, bud." Wayne says it back and we cut to black. And that's the end of the episode.
So why did we not pause and ponder the scene where Wayne jumps out of bed and he's wearing his plaid shirt and jeans in bed?
Well, I mean, what else can we say about that? Yeah, he's man obsessed. He wants to know whether that BFI actually existed and he could not sleep. Or do you think he always sleeps in his plaid shirt?
No, my whole thing is he's sleeping in his day clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You keep saying BFI. Do you mean FBI?
Well, they use both, right? FBI is fucking big Indian, and BFI is big fucking Indian, or they use both in the episode. But either way, it's same.
Anyway, I circled back to that just because when that happened, I think I laughed the loudest during that whole episode for that one scene. It was pretty hilarious when it happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sure. All right. Well, let's get to first impressions. Matt, no ratings. Just what did you think of the episode overall?
It was an episode.
Ooh. Okay.
To be honest, there was a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand why the title was what. I mean, I get why the title was what it was, but I felt like there was less relevance to that. I mean, it was really fun watching Jonesy and Shoresy get their ass kicked all episode. That was pretty entertaining, but I felt very disconnected from this one. There was a lot of all over the place. Some scenes that didn't make sense to me. I mean, it was fine, but I wasn't overly excited about this one.
Okay. Tanya, what'd you think?
I agree. I found that it was just, yes, there was a lot of, and I know you guys are going to say it. There was a lot of background information, and a lot of character building, and blah blah blah. There were a lot of parts that I did like. I loved Katie's quick-witted tongue and how she stands up for herself. Love that. I don't really love the whole hockey thing. It was just a bunch of poundings that they were getting. That's not my thing. There was some fun parts, but not enough.
Victor?
Yeah, it was generally enjoyable in parts, and probably moderately adequate in others. I agree with Matt wholeheartedly about the name of the episode. It doesn't fit. At no point I didn't feel anyone at all had the native flu. If anything, it was the opposite. Bring it on. I feel it should have been called not the native flu, or native flu not, or
it was just called a PhD. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, or just call it the wine flu, or whatever. But yeah, so that the name was kind of off to me, and I just felt like the only meaningful part of the episode, or the most intriguing part of the episode, really was the very last 5 seconds of the episode. If you think about what the entire season is supposed to be about, and what happened between the ending of the last episode and this episode, I felt like, is there even any connection? Like, I was hoping to kind of see more of Angie, and like, where's that going to go?
Well, maybe just like Stuart's.
There was just no reference to it at all. Like, it's like never even happened.
Maybe just like Stuart's reference, or the reference to Stuart's penis. It will happen in 2 more episodes. We'll find out about Angie.
Maybe.
Well, I hope so. I felt like this was a bunch of vignettes and skits that were sometimes funny, more often not funny, but not in a kind of turn-offish way. Like, you're still sitting there and enjoying the episode, and then at the end, like, you're feeling, yeah, this is obviously not one of the better Letterkenny episodes, but from a storytelling point of view, it was very much a one-off, and just a really, really, really long, I guess, very consistent with kind of our theme for our episode today, just a very long ride to get to the punchline.
Well put.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get hung up on the title of the episode, because I mean, it's funny. I feel like this is more of a streaming phenomenon. Like, do you remember watching your old favorite shows and sitcoms? Did you ever know the name of the episode that you were watching?
Never.
No. But they had names. We just never knew about them because we never.
Yeah, until they comes out on DVD or whatever.
Yeah. So for me,
episode 1, episode 2.
No, but they actually most of them had name, like they actually had titles or whatever, and it didn't. We don't care. Like, we care now because
you know about it in syndication, right?
Yeah.
In syndication, and now nobody watched TV anymore. But a few years back, when people still did, you'd go and see on the guide. They'll give you the name of the Seinfeld episode or whatever.
Sure.
But when it was happening for real, nobody knew the name.
No, exactly.
Well, and I think it depends on the show, because some shows really go out of the way to purposely name episodes based on some key characteristic.
Sure.
Whereas, like, I mean, you take a show like Friends, I mean, they just called it the episode with the guy with like everything was just the guy with the thing or the one with the this.
Yeah.
And it was just one element, but no one cared. But
my point is when we were
significance.
When we were watching those in real time, we never knew, nor did we ever care about the name of the episode. It's like it's a symptom now because of the way we consume TV now. Yeah. It's streamed, it's on Netflix or whatever, and what's the next episode called? Oh, you know what I mean? So to me, I'm not hung up over what they called it because it never really mattered before. In terms of the episode overall, I liked the native story. Like, first of all, like, okay, maybe Native Flu is not a great title, but it was mostly about the natives. So it was about Jonesy and Riley playing a roadie at the res, and it's also about the conflict between the people from Letterkenny and the natives. I thought that was a pretty good story there. If you want to say that there are any commercial breaks like in the last episode, it would be Katie going, Katie's confrontations with Devin. Like, I thought those were kind of just thrown in and didn't really.
You're not wrong.
Weren't really part of, but they were fun. They were fun, but they were kind of the commercial breaks that we got last week, right? So for me, I enjoyed the whole Letterkenny versus the natives thing, and then the resolution at the end where it seems like Wayne and Tanis are going to get together, and so I think that's pretty interesting. So overall, I thought it did forward the story in a good way. So it didn't continue the story from last week, but I think, and I mean, I've got the benefit of foresight because I've gone through all these episodes before. But even I remember watching it last time, thinking that Angie thing was a one-time thing. It was one of those. He hooked up with her because he was in the mood and she was familiar and they hooked up. I never thought that they were getting back together. So.
But Al, that aside, I just want to make it clear, my lack of enthusiasm for the episode is not hinged on that. It's more, it's based on what we did get.
Yeah. So my point is, what we did get, I thought, was an interesting story of a kind of a feud or conflict between the people of Letterkenny and the natives. And I mean, you guys don't know this, but it does continue. So it's something that does this is kind of just introducing it, or not introducing it, but for moving it forward from the end of last season. So one other thing that I've noticed with Letterkenny is they don't always continue the story from where they left off. It's something they do quite a bit, actually, from usually with when a season ends with a cliffhanger, the first episode of the next season doesn't pick up from where that cliffhanger left off. It almost never does, actually. So it's interesting that you made that point, because it's something I feel like I don't know if they do it on purpose, but they do it a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, and you're not wrong. I mean, Al, everything you're saying, I agree with. I think your idea around this conflict, and they brought it together, which is fine. But I think I just felt it was very disjointed. Like, it didn't, all the different elements. I mean, if they did all that and sort of brought it all back together towards the end to sort of close all those gaps, I would have been okay with it. Sure. But they felt like different stories addressing the same topic. But I couldn't understand the connection, so I could have actually taken them as separate episodes on their own, rather than all one mech.
And this
go ahead.
No, you go.
No,
ahead.
Go ahead, Al. Okay, just to build on that, I just felt that again, agree with what you're saying. I just felt that it was very, very surfacey. All of the kind of there wasn't much depth to it, so it kind of made it feel like it's very skit-like, as opposed to let's really try to understand this feud and what's behind it and da-da-da. Right? It just felt very, let's just set it up for the gags, which is fine. It just kind of, I just wasn't laughing a lot if it was set up for the gags, and I didn't learn that much if it was supposed to be deeper. So I didn't hate it. I generally enjoyed the episode. at no point did I say, "Oh, I could have been doing something else right now."
Sure.
I enjoyed it, and every now and then there was a laugh here and there.
Yeah.
But just it wasn't the greatest.
Letterkenny being one of the more memeable shows, like if you go on Twitter, lots of people using lots of memes and lots of gifs of Letterkenny scenes. This one here is one of those signature episodes. Like if you go online right now and type in the GIF search Letterkenny, you're going to get lots of grill mark GIFs because GIFs. Sorry.
Thank you.
So it's funny because and even when I posted it, especially on Facebook, when I said, "Oh, we're going to review and recap this episode," you should see how many comments there are and people weighing in on how they cook their steak. And like, this is one of those episodes that when people think of Letterkenny, they automatically go to a couple of things. And one of them is steaks, grill marks, bud. That's there's t-shirts that say Ferda, there's t-shirts that say allegedly, and there are also Letterkenny t-shirts that just say grill marks, and it's because of this episode. So it's kind of funny. It's one of those I don't know what you call them, 10 post episodes or
cult favorite.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. But
and well deserved. Mm-hmm. I had no issues with any of those things. I think that's great.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with ratings. Fresh, clearance, or compost. Matt, we'll start with you.
I'm going to put it at clearance, and based on honestly, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm kind of everything Victor just said is a really good capturing. There was a few laughs. I like the opening, the whole steak scene. It spoke to me. And, so again, there was enough to keep me interested. Did I love it? No. Did I feel a little disjointed? Yes. But I'll put it at a strong clearance.
Very good. Tanya?
Right smack dab down the middle.
So clearance.
Clearance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it.
Victor?
Yeah, that would be a clearance.
What's your vector, Victor? Very good. All right. I'm going to give it a clearance as well. I mean, I completely agree with you. And I remember sitting here last night watching it with Tanya, thinking to myself, especially after the previous episode, like the previous episode was so brilliant and so funny and well written and stuff. Yeah. This one here, like if we didn't watch the previous episode first, I bet you this gets a bit of a better rating.
Maybe if Patrick Glenn was in this episode.
On him, I gotta say, look, I still think those are biker shorts.
They're bicycle shorts.
I don't care. Sure. Give me more Pastor Glenn. That's all I'm saying.
So I agree with you guys. It was just a good episode. I'm giving it a clearance as well. It was just good, not necessarily great. All right. And so top fives, we're going back to you, Matt. Does this make your top five?
No,
do you need me to read them out? No. Okay.
No, it's okay. No, it doesn't. I mean, there's so many other strong episodes we've already watched. I don't even need them read out. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it, but does it make the top? No.
No. Okay. Tanya?
No.
No. Okay. Victor?
No. Keep it off.
Yeah. Let me see. What's my bottom? Fuss at the Egg Hall. That's...
Come on.
I don't know. Fuss at the Egg Hall?
That's really, Al?
Wait, right. There's two Fuss episodes. Which one? Which one? Are you talking about the season ending? Or
no. That's Fuss in the Back Bush. I'm trying to think. Fuss at the Egg Hall. Which one's that? Isn't that the one where...
So it's the coat hangers from the one to the other. And
yeah, that one there was kind of...
Oh, no, that was election.
No, that's
election. No. Fuss at... Well,
one was the season ender. The other one was the beginning of the season.
See, that's the challenge in our logic is actually trying to remember the episodes and then actually put them in an order.
I'm telling you, season 1, episode 6 was Fuzz, and season 2, episode 1 was
That's
Fuzz.
right. Yeah, it was. So Fuss in the Back Bush was the season finale of episode of season 1, and Fuss in the Ag Hall was the beginning of this season. And it's not making mine as well. Anyway, so all that to say.
Glad we got there.
Exactly. All right, let's get to some listener comments here. So as I'd mentioned, Aaron from Texas He gave us our first Apple review. He wrote, "Great show. I've watched the entire series and love the added audio clips from the show. Still makes me laugh. 5-star fresh." Thank you so much, Aaron, for the Apple review. We encourage, and I'm going to say, I beg, if you guys want to give us that, it's really helpful to get the Apple ratings and the reviews. It's helpful to get us higher up in the charts, in the Apple charts. So if you're listening to us on Apple, go ahead, but make sure it's a 5-star review, not
Send Aaron your next steak out.
Yeah, exactly. Jason Cutler, our buddy Jason, he sends us a lot of messages. Not to be an expert, because everybody's a fucking expert, but I do enjoy your show. I also drank some Stella because Al recommended them. I like that some others are finally enjoying the show as well. Thank you so much, Jason. And Labatt, did you hear that? Somebody has tried Stella on my recommendation. So, if you want to, sponsor the show,
I think that's Stella's only downfall, is that they're affiliated with Labatt.
Yeah, well,
I was going to say that's a Labatt product.
Well, Labatt
owns them?
Acquired them?
I don't know. I think they distribute them in Canada, so I don't know if they actually own them, because Stella's a Belgian company, right?
I was just going to say your can says Belgium.
Yeah, but I think Labatt distributes them in Canada. I don't know if they actually own them. They might, because I know that once Labatt was owned by a Belgian beer company, so it could be the same company. But anyway, I know the Labatt distributes them in Canada. Let's see. Referring to the episode we just reviewed, okay, that's a quality episode, but Montreal steak spice should really be part of this conversation. That's from our buddy Redbeard. I believe he's out in New Brunswick. We all agree. Yes. Yeah. All right, and those are all the comments I have. So do we have any final thoughts? Matt, let's start with you.
No, not today, man. Not today.
Tanya, any final thoughts?
I am getting some steaks for this long weekend that we have coming up. I know it's typically turkey, and I will save the turkey for Monday, but steak is definitely going to be on Sunday or Saturday's
That's
menu.
Right. Yeah. As soon as we started the demolition, she's like, I feel like we need steak. She wants to reward. So are you going to cook them?
Steak is my reward for like that. It's my like special occasion. Like I've done a really good job. It's my go-to.
Yeah. So
we don't eat a lot of red meat, but a good steak. Oh.
Why don't you just have ostrich instead of turkey?
I was gonna say.
Oh, you know what? We have a butcher nearby in the neighboring town. And they have some exotic meats selections there, and I believe ostrich is one of them.
I think you're right. Yeah,
do it.
No, not after seeing the size of their dicks. Oh,
jeez.
And did you? And you just catch?
They're PhDs.
They have massive. It's like a sledgehammer. That's what this. It's like a massive sledgehammer, and I can reference that because I've had one in my hands all week long.
So. A sledgehammer.
What you guys do on your time is your business.
Oh man, Victor, any final words? Please put us out of our misery.
Well, I hope that they get back on the ostrich for the next episode and do better.
Okay. I don't have any, it was a good episode. It wasn't a great episode, but looking forward to, I am looking forward to the next episode, Uncle Eddie's Trust. From what I remember, it was a fun episode, so it should be fun. So I'm going to play us off here with a song from this episode. Called Stand in the Sand by Twin Peaks. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we'll be recapping and reviewing Season 2, Episode 5, Uncle Eddie's Trust. Please rate us on iTunes if you like the show. Follow us on Twitter @ProduceStandPod. We also invite you to visit the website, theProduceStandPod.com, for other episode recaps and a list of our favorite episodes. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to set up the hibachi, cook up some steaks, heavily salt and peppered, grilled at 400, 4 minutes total. Flip 1 minute for those good grill marks. Let sit for 2 minutes and then down the hatch. From all of us at the Produce Stand, have a good night.